This UCL recap episode is presented to you by Football Manager 2026. Football Manager 26 has launched across platforms. Purchase now to define your managerial destiny. Hello and welcome back to The Give and Go. I'm your coach, Reynoso, here with my boy
Soltero. What's up, y'all?
We are celebrating 4 years of The Give and Go, folks. 4 years
that's crazy.
of The Give and Go. Officially a whole World Cup cycle doing this show, man. And what better way to celebrate it than with your beautiful Atleti and my beautiful Liverpool winning today, bro.
Yeah.
Let's start off with Liverpool versus Real Madrid at Anfield. Liverpool puts in their best performance of the season.
Yeah, this was night and day difference between the two sides. And we had been talking about Madrid. Could they continue their momentum that they started a week ago when they thrashed Barcelona and take it to Liverpool at Anfield? It was looking good. They get the 4-0 result against Valencia. I had faith in this side. But to be completely honest, man, I mean, if it wasn't for Thibaut Courtois,
oh my God,
this would have been 3-4-0 for Liverpool. You look at the expected goals for Madrid in this game is 0.45, and you really look at it, yes, they had a lot of the ball, but they really could not generate any true chances in this match. Hard for me to ignore the amount of clear-cut opportunities that Liverpool themselves created. Van Dijk with a header. Szoboszlai should have had 2 goals, at least put away one of them. But yes, Courtois was immense for Madrid, and it really is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Like, that is no doubt about that. But in this match, this really was just all Liverpool.
It was all Liverpool, and I want to highlight their strengths and what they did right in this game. I think they were so well organized, bro, in the back, not allowing any space for Real Madrid to thrive off of. Because if you watch Real Madrid this season, I feel like the two things that they rely on to really kill their opponents is you either making a mistake, which we see a lot of in La Liga, or leaving space open. Mbappe, Vinny Jr., they love to run free, man. They love to run free and roam those big areas. But in this game, bro, every time they got a ball, there was a body on them, bro. Connor Bradley turned Vinny Jr. into a Labubu. He turned him into a Labubu, bro, because he put him in his pocket. He was pocketed all damn game, dude. And Connor Bradley putting in his best performance of the season in this match, arguably one of his best performances ever at the club level after doing the same thing a year ago against the same club. He really stepped it up in this game in that back line, and that was really, really good to see. And it almost felt like that defensive fortitude was actually what generated a lot of Liverpool's offensive actions, because we would shut off a Real Madrid attack, and then we would just go, bro. We would just swing the ball out or send it into the middle to Ekitike, and that's where most of our offense came from. And we did great about generating opportunities. It's just Thibaut Courtois, man. Yeah. It's Thibaut Courtois who, had we not gotten the result today, would have continued to have haunted me as a Liverpool fan, bro, because we all got our clubs. We all got those players that, you know, you got to be careful about saying their names around your boys, because it might send a shiver down your spine, like, you know, a CR7 and Atletico type relationship, bro. I got to be careful with that, knowing the things that have happened, bro. Courtois is becoming that for me with Liverpool, man, because he is showing out time and time again. I genuinely did not think we would be able to break him around the 60th minute, man.
Yeah.
Because those saves were ridiculous.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Alexis McAllister heads it in, gives us a 1-0 victory. And I felt really confident seeing the result out, having seen how Real Madrid was generating their offense. It just wasn't there today. Yeah. And I do think it's a cause for concern for Madrid fans, because now you look at the game against Atletico, you look at the game against Liverpool, two really formidable opponents, and they lost both games. Really, the most noteworthy match is against a up and down Barcelona squad so far. Right. I think Real Madrid is still looking for that signature victory against a team outside of Spain.
Yeah, and I don't know when we're going to see it. I look at this Madrid performance. It wasn't terrible, but they really were the inferior side. And I just think we're going to have to take a long time to see if Madrid are actually going to be anywhere near the UEFA Champions League final. I don't think we're going to learn much else throughout the rest of this kind of league phase from Madrid. There's just simply not enough time. We only have a month left for league phase, really. Or I guess 2 months if you include the January window now. But I think Madrid will be fine. Obviously, they will qualify, but I don't think we're going to see actual Madrid and their actual merit until we see a knockout game from them. But going into it for Madrid now, I just see them, and honestly all of La Liga, is kind of doomed. doomed against these truly much more formidable sides that have way more talent across the entire squad. Madrid played good today, but not good enough.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of the pattern here, not just for Madrid, but I'm starting to see it with Barcelona too. I still see it with Atletico, and yes, they did win today, but it was against Saint-Gilloise. I just see La Liga ultimately as flawed when I compare them to teams like Liverpool or teams like Arsenal, who, yes, have flaws, but just have so much more depth that they can cover it.
Yeah, and I kind of gotta highlight, I gotta point out, Liverpool, man, where the hell has this been? Where the hell has this been the past 4 or 5 games? Because it truly just felt like the team just wanted it today.
Yeah.
They decided to show up. It wasn't about tactics. It wasn't about the nitty gritty stuff. It was just Liverpool wanting to show up and playing up to the level that they are capable of playing at. And I also got to extend that out to the crowd too. Anfield has not been this loud all season. They had to have that motivation of Trent Alexander coming back and it being Real Madrid to truly get amped up. But I'm just like, man, where's this been, guys? Like, come on, let's tap into this now. I can't believe that this side has been the same side that has lost 4 or 5 games in a row, because what I saw today was a very formidable side that, if they continue playing at this level, can go up against anybody, bro. So I still believe Liverpool can tap into this. This is who they are. I just want to see it more consistently now, man, because sure, we defeated Real Madrid once again at Anfield, but how are we going to perform against Manchester City? How are we going to perform against Nottingham Forest in the Prem? I need to see that consistency because we are capable of it. It's time to really fully dive into that.
Absolutely. That's what I'm looking more forward to for Liverpool, is going to be that game against Manchester City, who I see as a team, honestly, in much better form than Madrid. That's why I'm not as excited as you when it comes to Liverpool, man. I really see this as more so Madrid just didn't show up at all. But it's actually, as you said, a cause for concern. Liverpool forced this on Madrid, but Madrid themselves just couldn't do anything about it. But I really just do think it's down to the actual players themselves. I don't know if there's much that Xabi Alonso can really do with this side when they're playing like this.
Liverpool wins 1-0. They now move into the top 8 of the UEFA Champions League. Real Madrid is currently sitting in 5th place. Let's move on over to the next biggest game of the day, which had to be PSG hosting Bayern Munich, a game I was really, really excited about, being that PSG is the defending champion and just hasn't been beat truly, bro, outside that FIFA Club World Cup final. Well, here you have one of the most, if not the most informed team in all of the world, and Bayern Munich coming into your house and immediately making a statement 4 minutes into the game with Luis Diaz scoring a goal and following that up with another one in the 32nd minute, getting a 2-0 lead.
Yep.
Red card changes the dynamic of the game, but ultimately Bayern Munich sees themselves get a massive statement-making 3 points here at the Parc des Princes.
Yeah, I really see this game almost as like a figurative passing of the torch from the reigning Champions League winners to, I would say, the front runners to win it this year. That's how I see this game, especially that it was in France. Bayern came on the road and played the same game they've been playing week in, week out in the Bundesliga, the same game that they've been playing every UEFA Champions League match week. It's aggressive off the ball. You have insane creativity from Kane. You have amazing dribble penetration on the right-hand side from Olise. And then you have incredible wing play on either end, whether it's dribbling, whether it's defensively, whether it's in front of goal from Luis Diaz. You get everything with this Bayern team, and it didn't matter who their opponent was today. Oh, PSG doesn't matter. They get the victory, even though they were down a man for an entire half.
And that's why, by PSG standards, I do see this as an implosion, bro. I see this as an implosion. That second goal, Marquinhos completely losing his head, just completely is not aware what's going on around him. Luis Diaz takes the ball from him and scores, and then not being able to get back into this game, being up a man. I thought that was really surprising, given that the PSG of last year, I think, would have been able to get back into this match. But now it is a case of maybe not being up to that level anymore. Yes, they're dealing with injuries and maybe the form isn't there at the moment, but I just think Bayern Munich right now at this moment is the best team, I would say, in Europe now, man. I would love to see them matched up against Arsenal to really get a definitive answer. I think it's not those two. But with this result, Bayern Munich makes an absolute statement that is fully deserved. And it's announced, bro. It is announced. I think everyone in the football world is now becoming aware that this Bayern Munich team, who we've been very pro for since the season started, is really vying for a UEFA Champions League title and is definitely one of the favorites.
Yeah, and it just looked even worse for PSG when Dembele went off injured in the 25th minute. It's just not a good look. It's not what you want to see if you're a fan. The best player on your team last year, Ballon d'Or winner Ousmane Dembele, can't get going this season. Just can't. He started off with a little injury. Now he's coming off injured again. We're barely in November. It's a long season. It's not looking good for PSG. Here's the interesting thing, though. They had a terrible fall last year. They did not get going until January of this year. No one was even considering PSG to be title contenders all the way up until December.
Good point.
So, yes, I'm with you. This is bad for PSG. This is really, really bad. Because you also look at their standings in Ligue 1 right now. They've dropped a lot more points than was expected of them. And the league's actually incredibly tight, first to like 7th place right now. PSG have had a weird start to this season. It can be salvaged, but right now, it's all Bayern Munich.
That's why I think the bigger negatives for PSG isn't necessarily losing this game. It is, to me, it's the injuries, man. They had great luck with injuries last year. Almost everyone was healthy going into that amazing UEFA Champions League run. But a big one was losing Hakimi in this match, who went off in tears off of a really tough challenge from Luis Diaz. I don't think that one looked good, bro. I think that's going to be a severe injury. We'll see how long it takes for Hakimi to recover. Hopefully it's something quick. But if this keeps happening where players are coming in and out of the lineup because of injuries, I could see that getting in the way of PSG's ultimate success. Whereas Bayern Munich, bro, they're operating the same way they did when they last won the Champions League. Machine mode. Machine mode. And I've never seen Harry Kane more happy, bro, because he's got 2 Ferraris next to him. And Luis Diaz and Michael Olise. My God, man, these guys are incredible, bro. Yeah. And Gnabry with an amazing flick in that first goal. This offense is just so damn good. And also credit to the defense. Upamecano has stepped it up this year after his questionable performance in the past. Jonathan Tah looks comfortable in that back line. And Manuel Neuer doing classic Manuel Neuer things, just making his wonky saves, keeping it low scoring, and getting the result. Bayern's a complete team, bro. And now the question is, how far can they actually go? And I want to see how they fare against Premier League teams specifically, because I don't think they've had the chance to do that just yet.
Dude, they're going to in the next match. They play Arsenal. That's crazy.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Nice. That's exactly what I want to see.
Wow, we're actually gonna get what like the people need to see.
Where is it?
The 2 best teams right now in Europe, in my opinion, in London.
Oh man. Wow. Okay. If Bayern wins 2 away games like that, bro.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's going to be an insane match. And it'll be the perfect test for Arsenal right now, who just continue winning. Continue keeping clean sheets.
I can't wait. I'm already super excited for that, man. What a result for Bayern Munich, winning 2-1 at the Parc des Princes. Why don't we hop on over to Atleti, man? Atleti, who defeated Union Saint-Gilloise 3-1 at home. Dude, what a performance. What a game. His first goal was just beautiful to see as he gave Atletico Madrid the 1-0 lead. Afterwards, you got your boy Conor Gallagher scoring a banger, and then Llorente closing it off with the dagger in the 96th minute. Atletico Madrid winning once again at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew we were going to win this match. What I have been really impressed with, specifically in this month of October, is we've fixed the problems of losing against weaker teams. When we faced against opponents last year, there was always like a 50% chance we would get upset or we'd get a weird draw. And we started that same way this season. That's why I was on such a low to begin the season, because we were dropping points like crazy, man, against really weak opponents in La Liga. But in these last 4 weeks specifically, we've just been taking care of business, bro. Taking care of business. Obviously, I still think Atleti has a clear ceiling. But as far as getting the points when we need to, we've been very good about that these last 4 weeks. So let's just keep it going, because if we can win the games we should, I think we'll have a good chance in the knockout stage of the Champions League, as long as we get like a good draw. Like, I don't think we can beat Arsenal. I don't think we can beat Liverpool. We can't beat Bayern, but everybody else feel pretty decent about.
I think Atleti has a genuine chance to be this year's Dortmund side that went to the final against Real Madrid. You look at their matchups, and they were just good enough to get by in every single round because of the matchups that they had. I think if Atletico does get a good draw and also does have that intimidating home atmosphere to host games at, then they could definitely maybe see themselves in the quarterfinal, maybe even see themselves in the semifinal.
That's the thing.
Through some good matchups. So I don't think that's the worst thing to root for, because yes, there's a clear limitation. I'm looking at the recent results that you guys have had, and your last 2 losses came against Liverpool. It came against Arsenal. There is a ceiling on this team, but those are, arguably top 5 sides in the world. Yeah. It's all right at the end of the day, man. I like what we're seeing so far. Things are coming together for Atletico Madrid. And Union Saint-Gilloise, man, I mean, ultimately the dream just isn't there, bro. It's only 1 win to show for and 3 losses.
Yeah. No, but yeah, we knew that. Come on, we knew that after the second game.
Well, they might not even qualify, dude. Like, they should at the very least be able to do that through the playoff round.
Oh, okay.
Given the performances we've seen from them, man.
Yeah.
Granted, it's been tough lately with their draw.
They played Inter, one of the best teams in Italy. They played Atletico, one of the best teams in Spain. The Newcastle one was when I lost hope, because I was just like, okay, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe they might be able to fix it if they've got better draws.
It's not over yet. Yeah. It's not over yet, but this is a team I was hopeful to see in the playoffs of the UEFA Champions League.
It doesn't get easier, though. They play Galatasaray. Then they play Marseille. They have a tough draw, bro.
Man.
They have and then they play Bayern. They might have one of the toughest draws out of any European team. It's not Union's year, bro.
It's unfortunate, man.
It's unfortunate.
We've been on the search for that team that is the best squad that plays in the league outside of the top 5 leagues in Europe. Well, with today's result, and at the moment, based off of the standings, Sporting CP is that team. As they tie Juventus.
Say that again?
Away from I had to kind of jumble it up. Sporting CP, at the moment, is the best team outside the top 5 leagues in Europe.
God, are you sure?
I'm looking through. Yeah. They're in 10th right now. Karabag is the next contender in 15th place at the moment. They have a game in hand.
And here's the thing. They played very well today in Turin against Juventus. A gorgeous, smashing finish from Maxi Araujo, the Uruguayan, to actually surprise and stun the Juve crowd to start this match. Smashes it off the post. And it looked like Juve's woes were going to continue, right? They've just fired Igor Tudor last week. This is now Spalletti's Juve. And Sporting were able to hold on for quite some time. Ended up being Dusan Vlahovic, who equalizes right before the half. But this game ends 1-1. Here's the thing. Watching this match, I actually was very impressed with Spalletti's Juve. It looked good. The pace was a lot quicker than it was under Tudor. I really like the amount of attacking that happened in this game. For a Juve perspective, it's just the finishing wasn't there. But the problem is the finishing hasn't been there, right? Yildiz has completely cooled off. David still cannot score. He had a big chance at the end of this match to get that goal, to get the game-winning goal. Still can't do it. It's just not really coming from anywhere. Thuram's active in the midfield, but in front of goal, he's just not that type of guy. So Juve's finishing is going to be a problem, even with this new coach. Sporting were able to take advantage of that in this game.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to be low on Juve until I see a consistent run of results that are legit wins. At the end of the day, this is Sporting CP, man. And I can see that, yes, their style looked more promising, but it's easier to implement that sort of style against a team that ultimately isn't that dangerous in my eyes. Mm-hmm. Yes, they played great. I want to take credit from them, but do it against the AC Milans, the Napolis, the Romas of Serie A, and then maybe I'll be more hopeful about this Juventus team. There's a lot of work to be done, and when I saw this result, man, it just continues that narrative of disappointment I've had with Juventus. Hopefully, under Spalletti, it can change over the course of the next 10 games. But still, bro, 3 draws in the UEFA Champions League. They're doing the same damn thing here as they're doing back in Italy, man. Exactly. They cannot win games, and they haven't so far.
Exactly. It's really frustrating because they should have won this game. They created so much more big chances than Sporting. It's just not going their way. But I agree. This was a good stylistic performance from Juve, but now I need to see it against tighter defenses in Italy. If they can replicate it, then there might be be hope on the horizon coming Juve's way.
I'm big on Premier League teams this year in the Champions League, folks. So you guys know it. If there's a Premier League team facing off against a squad that's outside of England and isn't a big name like Bayern Munich or Barcelona, Madrid, I expect a victory, bro. And so it was beautiful to see Tottenham do that at home against FC Copenhagen in a completely dominant performance. Johnson, Odegaard, Van de Ven, Palinha, all getting on the board. 4-0 result as Tottenham now lays in 7th place in the standings, posing a potential dark horse narrative for them in the UEFA Champions League. Good result, 3 points here. Tottenham wins.
Tottenham wins. Copenhagen just don't have it. I'm not looking at this game as any indicator of anything.
Van de Ven looking like Heung-min Son with the goal of the day. Contender, man. What a ridiculous goal where he drove it past 4 or 5 guys and Copenhagen's defense could not get a foot on it. He finds himself scoring a damn beauty.
Yeah.
That was my main takeaway because the rest were just really straightforward goals. Tottenham, big 3 points here, continuing their momentum. Let's go on over to Arsenal. Also doing the same thing as Slavia Prague in that early set of matches today. Saka starting off with the penalty, and then Mika Merino once again finding his way back on the scoreboard. 2 goals here to make it a 3-0 result. Arsenal, easy victory away from home.
Yeah, Slavia Prague actually had a fantastic first 15 minutes. They took it to Arsenal. Arsenal really couldn't generate anything. And within those 15 minutes, Slavia Prague were actually the better team. And it got me thinking, I was like, oh, okay. Like, they've been preparing for this and they're actually executing their plan in front of their home crowd. I'm like, okay, let's see how long this can last. And then the soccer gods gifted Arsenal a penalty. That's how they were rewarded.
I'm trying to remember. What was the penalty in this one?
It was it was a handball, but it was, in my opinion, a little harsh. It was a little harsh, but it's just callable nowadays, man.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, very harsh on Slavia Prague. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. It's cruel. It's the nature of the game sometimes. Arsenal take complete advantage. And from that moment on, all Arsenal.
Yeah.
All Arsenal. They get 2 more, 3-0. Another day at the office for Arsenal.
Yeah, I thought they really announced themselves as UCL contenders last match day with the victory they got against Atletico Madrid 4-0. Here they are winning 3-0. This was expected. 4 games, no goals conceded. Best defense in Europe?
Oh, easily, man.
Wow.
Easily.
Wow. So now we're going to get the best defense in Europe against the best offense in Europe.
Yes.
And Bayern Munich, Arsenal. That's going to be crazy, bro.
Crazy.
Arsenal, though, man, feeling great with what they've done so far. We also had some American success, man. Some American success. Good to see with both Balogun and Ricardo Pepi scoring today. Let's go on over to Balogun's game winner. A beautiful near post finish. Top bins as he gets Monaco the 3 points in a tough away match against Bodo Glimt to secure the victory here, bro. Massive moment for the American and massive game for Monaco.
Bodo Glimt, with their beautiful silky style of football, was once again on display. And dude, that night sky in the Arctic Circle, it is pitch black. It is pitch black. What a scene in Norway. And it just wasn't Bodo's day, man. They had a lot of the ball, 64% possession. They really took it to Monaco, generated a lot of chances, 4 shots on target. 3 of them were really, really big. But as we've seen throughout this whole Champions League campaign for Bodo Glimt, they do struggle to convert their chances. Their chance creation is fantastic, but finishing is a huge problem for this team, bro. Yeah. And once again, they could not finish their chances today. Didn't get any goals, even though they worked so hard and had some really brilliant passing. And it ended up being Monaco with the sole goal. And it really was just a solo goal from Balogun. He gets it on the end of a long ball, and he just goes. Takes it straight at the heart of Bodo Glimt's defense. Forced out wide, but he blasts it past Bodo's goalkeeper, gets the only goal in this match, and yeah, Monaco take away 3 huge points on the road here.
I say huge because they haven't won yet throughout the whole Champions League run so far. This was needed. They needed 3 full points, and it gets them in the playoff position. Monaco defeats Bodo. Let's go on over to Ricardo Pepi scoring the game-tying goal for PSV Eindhoven in the 93rd minute as Olympiacos led led this game damn near the entire match. But they end up dropping 2 points to PSV as Pepe ties it. What a goal for the American here, bro, as he completely stuns the Olympiacos crowd, who was thirsting for a much-needed 3 points here because they're right now in 31st place, bro. They needed 3 points.
Yeah.
Steals 2 points from them, makes it a draw. Pepe, the deciding goal scorer here.
Yeah, it was a hell of a hit from Pepe, honestly. A lot of pressure, rebounded shot. There's like 6-7 players in front of him. He's able to find that space in between the defense. He smashes it. Goalkeeper gets a touch on it, but it's not enough. Equalizer on the road for PSV. They had so much of the ball, 60% possession, but they didn't generate a single chance until that stoppage time hit from Pepe.
Wow.
Tough for Olympiacos. Really tough because they truly put in a sturdy defensive performance. They deserve the win, in my opinion, solely based off of how well they defended in this match. And Justin Martins in that first half with a banger of a goal in front of the home crowd to give Olympiacos that 1-0 lead at the time. But it just wasn't meant to be, man. Really wasn't meant to be. Pepe at the death for PSV.
It's good to see, man. Literally your 2 forwards scoring goals in the Champions League.
Yeah, bro.
It's good.
It's really, really good. And both very good finishes,
Yeah.
man. Like, when Balogun scored that one against Bodo, I was like, perfect, man.
Yeah.
I was like, let's just keep this shit going until the end of the year, and we'll have probably the most informed CONCACAF strikers, at least from a CONCACAF perspective,
Right now, yeah.
for the USA.
Balogun, I think, is very obviously the number 1. Haji Wright made a great case to be the number 2. But Pepe scoring and picking up the pace will be big to make it a 3-man race because Josh Sargent hasn't been able to find his way into that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And Pepe was out of it for a minute.
Yeah.
Scoring here, starting to score more goals, I think would be great for him. I really do. Last game of the day was a Frankfurt versus Napoli draw. 0-0 result in Naples. This is Napoli's level.
Dude, and this is so frustrating because where was this terrible finishing from Napoli against Inter when I needed it, man? God,
That was
damn.
weeks ago, man.
They were so bad in front of goal today. So bad in front of goal. McTominay and Højlund smashing into each other, going for the same header. Miscommunication there. Elmas hitting McTominay's head off of a curling hit. Just wasn't meant to be for Napoli in front of goal. Anguissa had a big chance in the second half. McTominay had a huge chance in the second half to score. Pull it wide, pull it high, man. Napoli were terrible in front of goal. They were the better team, though. Frankfurt remained dangerous throughout the match and honestly generated some meaningful chances in that second half specifically. They could have stolen this, but Napoli really going to rue those missed chances today.
Absolutely. And on the flip, I think it was about Teat, Koch, Collins, that back line for Frankfurt showing out, man, because it's a damn miracle to see them get a clean sheet, man.
Yeah.
It really is. And so many games have been involved in, it's been 3 or more goals conceded, or it's been shootouts. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. First time I see Frankfurt not score or concede a goal in a match. I think it's crazy to see that type of result from this team. Granted, it's against Napoli, so I think ultimately it's a good thing. And they're well positioned in the playoff round. I think both these teams will be playoff round squads, but man, I think it's just so clear. I don't see them being threatening whatsoever, man.
No, neither of these teams in the Champions League perspective whatsoever, man. It's so crazy though. That stat, Eintracht Frankfurt have the second best offense in the Bundesliga, but the second worst defense in the Bundesliga. And I just think it's even worse for Napoli. The fact that Eintracht Frankfurt kept a clean sheet. Like, that's just not what you want to see, especially at home, man. So this is points drop for Napoli, 100%.
100%. Let's do daily awards. Game of the day, performance of the day, goal of the day. I mentioned it earlier. I think a contender and my pick for goal of the day is going to be Mickey van de Ven's Heung-min Son-esque goal in front of those Tottenham fans. I highly recommend you watch it if you haven't seen it. It's just a crazy run from a defender, folks. From a defender. That's my goal of the day.
I'm going to go with Gelson Martins' Olympiacos goal. He takes it down from such a height, pushes it forward perfectly, and then the next touch is an absolute smash of a hit, bangs it in for Olympiacos. So for me, Martins with the goal of the day.
Best crowd pop, man. That crowd lost their mind when he scored that goal. That was a great moment. Performance of the day, though. Performance of the day, I got to go with my boy Connor Bradley. Showing out. I was scared. I was scared going into this game and how he has been playing for Liverpool as of late. I was a little worried for that assignment of being on Vinny, of seeing Kylian Mbappe. Showed out, bro. Got in Vinny's head, made him his Labubu. Who are you going with on performance of the day?
Bro, I almost want to go with Courtois, man.
That's a good one.
I almost want to go with Courtois because those saves, the first one against Szoboszlai, ridiculous. I only think Courtois can genuinely make that save, bro. Him and maybe Donnarumma.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know if there's any other goalkeeper alive who can make that save. And then in the second half against Van Dijk, that header, ridiculous. Quick reaction from Courtois. I almost want to give it to him, but out of respect for your beautiful Liverpool, I'll go with Bradley.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's go Bradley. Game of the day. Who are you going with on game of the day? What was the best game of the day you saw today in the Champions League?
The Liverpool one really was the most intense. Out of all matches today, this was the tightest one. It felt like a Premier League match. It just Madrid were inserted instead, and they were put in the hell of Anfield, man. I thought for me, game of the day, Liverpool-Madrid.
Let's do the Football Manager 26 decision of the day. What tactic today do you think best decided the outcome of a match? What are you going with, Salts?
I'm going with Peter Bosz's decision to bring on Pepe in the second half. Once again, getting a goal off the bench in the Champions League. This is Pepe's second time back-to-back doing it. He's also doing it in the Eredivisie as well. Bosz and Pepe off the bench is a really good decision right now.
Pepe, 6th Man of the Year contender, bro, scoring off the bench and the American getting on the board. Always good to see for the USA's national team hopes and for Pepe himself. Big goal. That's the Football Manager 26 decision of the match. And a thank you to the great team at Football Manager 2026, powered by the Unity engine. Experience the richest match days in series history with enhanced player movement and greater on-pitch detail, bringing new levels of depth and drama to every match. Football Manager 2026 available now across platforms. We'll see you guys very soon. Peace.